Just need to.
Damn it.
Just need to chill your dicks.
We were chilling our dicks.
Exactly.
What the exact opposite of that, asshole.
So we just saw Star Wars Rogue One. Thanks for clipping the audio.
I'm warm again.
I know you're warm again.
I'm just testing to make sure it works.
Make sure your voice works.
No, the audio.
That's yours.
Car.
Yeah, this person knows.
We're good.
Alright, hopefully I don't hit this curb, and we are good. We are clear for takeoff, folks. Alright, so we're just going to get this started off pretty much right off the bat, because I'm sure we all have a lot to talk about. General impressions. I'll start, and we'll also do like a rating. I thought it was good. I thought that really it didn't really pick up steam until the third part, like when they got to the beach planet. Which I guess isn't really a spoiler because it's in the,
Trailer.
It's in the trailer, so it doesn't really count. The characters, I guess, overall just felt forgettable to me. And I did like the small cameos they had throughout the whole movie. It seemed like it was a nice lead-in, a nice tie-in to Star Wars rather than a Star Wars movie, in my opinion. And it definitely focused on more of the war aspect of the universe, which I did enjoy. Overall, 7 out of 10 is what I'd give it.
I'll go next. I completely agree with what you said about it not picking up until like the third act, because like those first two parts, I was losing interest real fast. And I did not give a flying shit about any of the characters because, well, I won't say that because spoilers. Yeah, I'll say 7 out of 10 for me too.
Casey, since we're going clockwise, you're next.
Well, I do agree with everything that's been said. I did thoroughly enjoy it. I don't think any Star Wars fan would be disappointed by it. I don't like the way it started, and I'll go more into that in the spoiler section.
Yeah.
But I think 8 out of 10 for me. So yeah.
8 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
Huntar.
I agreed with everything that was said. In my opinion, I thought it kind of maybe midway it started to pick up and stuff. And I know everybody's saying third part, but I kind of grew interest. I just agree with everything that was said, like some of the character development and etc. So I think I would give it about an 8.5 or so.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna break the mold a little bit and not agree with everything that was said. I'll probably go a 7 out of 10 overall. I feel it's good, not great. Although, as far as the pacing is concerned, Quentin, I've got this problem with a lot of movies. I felt like I could have done with about half an hour less of just pure action.
Yeah.
And devote a little bit more to the characters. Although there's some good things that I like that they did with the characters we can talk about with spoilers.
Okay.
But yeah, I enjoyed the first and middle half, I think, more than everyone else did. And I really enjoyed the ending. But there was about a good 20-30 minutes in there, in between there, that I could see used for other things.
All right, so it seemed like the average score throughout the car was like a 7.5, 7.5 to 8. Yeah. So, I mean, that's about what I expected going in personally. Well, I will add one thing. I did like how, I guess this is kind of a spoiler.
Well, I'll put one thing in before we go into spoilers, because I'm assuming we're going to do that soon. Is my review may be had this movie come out last year instead of episode 7, I think it would have gotten a better review from me just because new Star Wars.
Probably.
But I think that because it's following up episode 7 and is leading into episode 8 now, it's not going to get as high of a review from me personally, at least.
Well, even then, if it came out last year, I feel like it would be still be rated not that great, just because it didn't capture me. It didn't feel like a full Star Wars experience.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, well, this is in the trailer. Darth Vader's in it, so that helped out a bit. And like I said, there was a few cameos, but other than that, it just didn't feel Star Wars enough.
Yeah,
I could have disagreed with that.
Yeah.
I to me, this actually felt a little more Star Wars
Well, I
than
mean,
Episode 7.
it felt like it was steeped in the universe. Don't get me wrong. It felt like it was in the right place. It had all the trappings, but it felt more sci-fi war than science fantasy to me.
And I do like that.
Yeah,
But I think
no,
that my problem with Episode 7, though, was it was kind of trying to be the
Episode
first
4.
trilogy again.
Yeah.
This
No,
felt
I can agree with you in there. I'm saying I appreciate Rogue One for what it is. It's just it wasn't what I personally expected, or it doesn't fit my personal definition of what a Star Wars movie feels like.
Yeah.
I agree with Brad.
Yeah,
I agree with Brad.
It's very subjective what I'm saying, but I'm just getting it out there.
Yeah.
All right, unless anybody else has anything else to say, we're gonna have a 3, 2, 1 till spoilers.
Yeah.
Any final words?
No.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Now, what I was going to say is I liked how in the movie they kind of showed the darker side of the rebellion, because in the trilogy, it was like, oh, we're clearly the good guys. We can do nothing wrong. But I'm talking in the first, say, 15 minutes, the captain just straight up murders somebody because he's about to spill the beans. And I'm like, okay, well, it's nice. And they're also saying, like, oh, yeah, we assassinate, we spy, we're saboteurs. Yeah, I thought that was humanizing. It was good. It's a war. It has to be done, which I appreciate that aspect for however lightly they touched on it.
Yeah. And what I was going to say concerning what I was saying about the characters earlier is I think one of the reasons that I just didn't really care for the characters is because I knew all of them were going to die. They had to die at the end of this movie. Otherwise, they would have been seen in Episode 4.
I think
They had to kill off everyone. They couldn't let any of them survive.
I felt that way as well. I mean, maybe K2 he could have survived and they repurposed him or whatever, but like everyone else.
I think I might actually disagree with that. I felt like maybe this would have been like a cheap way to do it, but I feel like maybe they could have like kept them alive and then said like, oh, they were just in a different part of the universe during Episodes 4, 5, and 6, and then maybe could have had a couple of more spin-off movies of Rogue One. Maybe they could have done that. I mean, I don't think they necessarily had to kill them off. I think it was an incredibly interesting end, and I thought that was really thought-provoking. I liked that, but I'm saying they didn't necessarily have to.
Oh, actually, you know what? In order to bolster Casey's point, think about the comics, Quinn. The Darth Vader series with Dr. A. Farah. She doesn't appear in the movies at all, but she appears between Episodes 4 and 5.
Finish the comics first.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Then tell me about the Darth Vader comic.
All right, well, I'm just saying, like, there's characters that probably appear in other sources that are canon that don't have to appear in the movies.
I know, but with the thing is like with Dr. Aphra from the Darth Vader comic, it's understandable that she wouldn't appear in the movies because she's supposed to be like a secret thing. But even in Episode 4, when they're talking about the Death Star plans, they even say like a lot of people died to get us these.
They specifically say a lot of Bothans died.
Bothans, yeah.
Yeah,
but still.
That's in Episode 6. That's when they get the plans the second time.
Really? I thought that was episode.
Because I was thinking about that through the movie.
I was like, wow, this is the longest setup to what a Bothan is ever.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I remember that it was Episode 6 when that tall lady with the short hair and like
Mon Mothma.
Yeah. She I don't think she was in Episode 4. I think she was only in Episode 6.
You're right, because in Episode 4 it was that weird dude.
It was
Yeah,
just that
I remember
man
that.
with beard.
I remember that now.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think maybe they mentioned a lot of people dying. I don't even think they mentioned at all how they got those plans.
they just kind of start the movie.
Yeah, I think in that fourth one they don't mention how they got the plans at all.
That's odd then. But speaking of tying into Episode 4, I like how they just literally ended the movie where Episode 4 began.
Yep,
just like straight off.
I like that. I like that a lot. Carrie Fisher's animation double looked fucking weird.
It did.
Looked fucking
I
real
think
weird.
they, besides like the fighters and their ships, like they all look weird.
No,
Carrie Fisher's character and Tarkin's character.
I thought Tarkin looked like spot on compared to what he looked like.
I can agree with Quinn on that
You
one.
could obviously tell that Tarkin was CGI though.
Yeah,
I mean, they were all CGI.
well, yeah, Tarkin was, and then
as far as I can tell, only Leia and
I honestly couldn't tell myself, but I guess I don't have a good eye for this stuff.
Tarkin obviously had to be CGI since Cushing is dead,
Oh yeah,
and then
I just thought they had fun. Like, a
Leia
really
had to be
convincing-
CGI because that ain't what Princess Leia looks like no more.
Oh no, I can agree with you. If it was Carrie Fisher, they had to do like they used her voice or something. It was either really
Well,
convincing
no, they
double
can't use her
or
voice. It sounds like her voice is completely different now.
true.
but
It's all old and.
but I honestly my favorite part of the whole movie wasn't any of the new characters. Well, I liked the robot a lot.
Oh yeah, K2 was awesome.
I liked him, but my favorite part of the whole movie was Tarkin.
Yeah, no, I can.
Throughout the whole movie, he was the best. He was like the coolest character in the
I was
whole
gonna
thing.
agree with you on that, and I think it's probably because of Rebels bias, because he's really cool in Rebels too.
Well, I mean, Darth Vader's cool in Rebels too, but Darth Vader didn't really do a lot in this movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's just kind of there.
That final scene with him was fucking dope, though. I'll say that. Oh my
Yeah.
god, just murdering some rebels right there.
So, that was brutal.
I don't think in any of the movies we've seen him be that violent.
Yeah, that violent. No.
He's not that animated, no. But
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that much fighting.
Maybe the end of Return of the Sith or Revenge of the Sith, but we don't talk about that movie.
We don't talk
no.
about those movies.
No.
Those movies are.
but they also had a bunch of other characters. Like they had a small one from R2 and C-3PO that I thought was pretty funny.
It was like 2 seconds.
Yeah, they also had Senator Organa, which I didn't realize it was
I
him.
like
did,
that.
yeah,
I
they
like
did
that they
have
threw him in there.
yeah.
I
And
didn't-
it was like it was actually him. It was like what he looks like now. It wasn't
Yeah.
like a CGI or
That's
anything.
well,
Well,
that's
it's because like
because he's
the other
still
ones,
alive,
yeah,
yeah.
were like 10
Yeah.
years ago.
and
maybe.
plus it works for him because
Oh yeah,
he's
because
going-
it's been
he's-
10 years difference between episode 3 where he appeared. and
Well, I don't know if
episode
it's
4.
like if it's specific. Well, it's definitely not 10 years
Oh
between 3
no,
and 4.
but I'm
3 and
saying it's
4.
a definitely like a good amount of time where they can like
20 or
convincingly pass it.
But he went in the right way. He went okay, episode 3, and then he goes in between 3 and 4, which works for him. Whereas the opposite happened with like, let's say, the Obi-Wan, where he started really old, and then they had to get a young guy to play him.
Yep.
So this one just worked out for him. I really like the mention of Obi-Wan too.
No, they actually didn't mention Obi-Wan.
No, they did.
No,
They
did.
said her. They said
No.
So
No.
they said, what
Obi-Wan
about your friend
before.
Jedi who's in hiding?
yes,
and-
but they also mentioned her.
Yeah, he was talking about Leia.
Yeah, that's
No, no.
Leia.
Yeah, he was.
I
saying,
thought he was talking about Ashoka.
Bail Organa's
Ahsoka.
daughter is
No,
Leia.
Ahsoka is only in like the series, the Clone Wars series.
Yes, but it's
Yeah,
canon.
but in the end,
And she's also in
stuff they're
Rebels.
doing now she's in Rebels, but
Yeah, but no, he was talking because she said, "Who would you give?
Ahsoka though?
Ah, okay, I
Who
didn't
would
hear
you
that
give
line.
the plans to?" And then Leia had the plans at the beginning of episode 4.
Gotcha. See,
So-
I thought he was like referring to Ashoka as like her.
No, they don't
Jedi
talk
friend.
about like she's only in that animated stuff, so they wouldn't.
Well, it's still canon though. That's
It
the
is,
thing.
yeah, that is canon.
Yeah.
Which is why I was hoping that I would see the.
There was a
ship
rumor.
in there.
There was a rumor that the Ghost crew was going to be in that movie.
See, I was hoping that they'd at least show the ship, just like
a little cameo.
Yeah, like a little cameo. I thought that would have been awesome if they did, but I guess they didn't, or maybe they did, and I just didn't see it.
Give it a week, let the internet have its way with the film, and then you'll find it somewhere.
Sure, just like how they found the.
Millennium Falcon in episode 3.
No, not that. No, like how they found this one ship that's canon in the Nintendo 64 Star Wars game, but only the ship is canon, not the character that pilots it. Not Dash Rendar. No.
Is that from?
I think it's called
Dark
Shadows of the
Forces?
Empire. Maybe it was Dark Forces. It's whatever one is.
Because Dark Forces is the original one about stealing the Death Star plans.
No, I think it's whatever the one for Nintendo 64 is, and I believe it actually is called Shadows of the Empire. But isn't that also the name of the
There's a comic
series?
book and a book series.
Yeah, well,
Shadows of the Empire.
oh well, it might. I don't know. Probably not Dark Forces though. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, Dark Forces is the Star Wars Doom clone.
Yeah, okay, that one was good. I never played it, but it looked fun.
I've played some.
Of course you did. Of course you played it, Quentin.
Doom.
So, anything to add in the spoilers?
Yeah, actually, so as I said in the spoiler-free, the beginning, and when I mean the beginning, I mean like the very first thing they show is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, right?
You meant that there's no crawl.
I was mad that there was no crawl because like that was.
I think it's good that they didn't do
No,
that.
I'm
Yeah.
agreeing
I
with
mean,
Quentin
that
this
was like
one.
it's the very first thing that like made me feel like it wasn't a Star Wars.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
is-
But it's not.
Yeah, I know, and I know what they were trying to go for. I know that they were trying to approach it in a different way, but like that's what I was expecting, and then to not get it, I was like
no, it's
disappointed.
they aren't trying to approach it in a different way. They're just keeping the crawl to all the main
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah, like when
that's
that
what I
Han
meant, yeah.
Solo movie comes out, I'm pretty sure there
Yeah.
won't be a crawl for that either.
Yeah,
Like all these other like prequel like films, there probably won't
Yeah.
be.
Prequel,
probably,
anthology, sequel, whatever.
yeah, whatever they want to call them.
but that's probably the biggest thing that made it feel like not a Star Wars movie to me.
See, I agree with both Quentin and Casey in this one. Like, I agree with Casey that I think that contributed to it not feeling like a Star Wars movie, but I completely understand why they didn't do it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's not like a quote unquote real Star Wars movie. Yeah, it's in the universe and it's canon, but it's not like a main series. Like, you don't have to get it in order to understand and turn which way. Oh, no, I keep
Forward.
going straight. Yeah, I always forget. Always forget.
I know.
What about you, Ryan? Anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, really, when it comes to the characters and stuff like that, and obviously you guys know some more about the characters than I do.
Have you
but-
at least seen all 6, 7
Yeah,
of the
of
movies?
course.
Okay, just making
Yeah,
sure.
of course.
Just making sure.
But I agree with Casey's thought was the one that I was having, that I don't think they had to die, but I appreciate that they did.
Yeah.
They could have made it work. And a lot of movies will try to kind of pull that back and maybe try to save characters for later or just try to make it not as real and gritty.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate that one by one they all started to die at the end.
Or like at the very end with Jin and I forget his face dying in what was essentially a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, I kept thinking Casio like the watch. But
Yeah.
I feel like I've got that wrong. So.
Or the calculator.
yeah.
Definitely begins with Cass, I think.
It's
Cassium
something-
or something like that.
Yeah.
Cassium, yeah.
To IMDb I go.
See, when you forget the characters' names within the span of the movie, you know it's bad.
I think that they developed them enough so you can get at least attached, a little bit.
Somewhat, yeah.
That was
They got enough of it, enough to where at least it
that was another thing. That was another thing too, is that like I felt like Jin was just too much of a Rey clone, but not as cool.
That's true. I forgot.
Yeah.
I was thinking that the
Yes.
whole time.
It's like, wow, she just feels too much like Rey.
It's
Like,
just the.
She's a Rey clone if Rey was a lot angstier.
true.
Yeah,
That's
they're,
what I
they're way
think.
too similar. I mean, it's the same
Like
archetype.
even
It's almost even the same damn haircut.
and same voice too. Jesus.
I was half expecting her to like start using the Force and like pull out a lightsaber or something. Like I just like I was expecting that just because of how similar it was to Rey.
It was Cassian,
Cassian.
Captain Cassian Andor.
Though I am glad they didn't like introduce any more bullshit Force users. Like, oh, this guy was also a Jedi. No, it's like the Force. The only like Force sensitive dude in the movie was the monk, which I guess kind of fits because he was on a planet that had like abandoned Jedi temples.
You know what I was actually going to say? What I think is really cool, Hunter was saying they wouldn't reference Ahsoka because she's in the animated series, or the Rebels and all that kind of stuff. They did reference the Clone Wars in that movie.
Yeah, but like
Just
that's
like-
No, like directly. Saw Gerrera is a character that came from the Clone Wars.
Oh, like from the animated series?
Yes, that's where he
Oh,
first
really?
came from. Saw Gerrera was, thank God I watched that series over Thanksgiving. Yeah, Saw Gerrera was in the Clone Wars for about 5 or 6 episodes, if I'm correct.
Really? So he's just
Was
like
he,
a minor character?
Was he the still like same skin color and everything?
Yeah, he was the same everything pretty much. It's just not robotic.
It's like I watched all that and I just like
That was when
what season it's around.
I can't remember the season because man, I marathoned that whole show in a week.
Yeah.
It's
And
all
not to
put
mention
together.
you also skipped a lot of filler stuff too.
No, I
Just, like,
didn't
watched-
skip. I watched it straight through.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
giving
6
you.
seasons.
I'm giving you. I didn't watch season 6 actually
Oh, okay.
because I thought the ending on season 5 was perfect.
Yeah, season 6 actually like didn't air on like
Season 6 was Netflix because they bought.
Oh, it was like
Disney
on
bought.
like cusp. Okay.
Yeah, Disney bought Star Wars halfway through the production of season 6, so they just released the episodes that they had done. And that was it. But no, I watched it all the way through, and the arc that he was in was when Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, and Anakin go to this planet to like train these insurgents fighting the quote-unquote like the evil empire that's there, but it wasn't
Trade
the
Federation.
Empire. Yeah, it was the Trade
I'll have to
Federation.
Google that and look at it. 'Cause
But
I
yeah.
just I mean it's been so long since I've watched all those.
Yeah. Man, I watched it like a couple weeks ago. I still forget some of the stuff. Thank you.
But like I said, I'm just glad they didn't make the Force the monk. Like, oh, he was a Jedi all along and he survived the Purge. No, he's just a dude who likes the Force a lot. That's about
Yeah.
it.
I thought him and the other guy that had a tight romance.
The machine gun dude.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know their names. Like, honestly, the only reason why I remember Jin is because of the pop figure. Just straight up.
I like the monk dude. I thought he was dope with the fighting and stuff.
Oh yeah, of all the characters, he's easily my second favorite behind K2.
Yep,
It's
I can agree with that.
Just,
Well, at least new characters.
yeah, new characters. Oh yeah, I can't. Well, I'm just
Which
gonna
one is
go
K2?
straight because I know.
K2
where-
is the robot. You
Oh, yeah, I
dangus.
love the robot.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was the
man.
droid who was super sassy and he was
Yeah,
pretty
All
badass
Our
too.
droid's programming is just sarcasm.
Yeah.
That really is the
hard
case. Except for the little mouse droids, which I saw one of those too, and I was happy because they're my favorite useless things ever.
I'll never.
What the fuck do those things even do?
You know,
I was thinking that during the movie, like, what are they for?
you know, there's one thing I was actually thinking of. So in that last part, when like when the one Star Destroyer starts falling down,
The
and then
Republic ship?
the Star Destroyer starts falling down, and then the Republic ship runs into it, and it makes it run into the other one.
Mm.
I was thinking of something back in my childhood when I was a little boy. I got a Star Destroyer Lego set. It's this one. Stupid ass.
Yeah.
Star Destroyer Lego set, 1,000 pieces. Took me 3 days to build, and my asshole brother kicked it in half. And watching the Star Destroyer collide with the other one, I was like, that's what it must have looked like.
See, I was just thinking, like, man, this is what they get for designing their spaceships so pointy.
I just like
Goddamn
seeing that.
space
that
triangles.
Republic
Into the
cruiser.
aerodynamic out there.
That was
I mean,
some-
like, when you launch from a planet, it kind of makes sense, but
that was some like,
seriously, like, most of those ships in that series are super unaerodynamic.
yeah.
That's why you do it like Star Trek and just don't launch from a planet.
Oh yeah, they do keep their shit in orbit, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, that makes the most sense from a science fiction standpoint, but Star Wars isn't exactly science fiction in my opinion.
Well, I don't think
I
they
detailed it before, but
do. They launch the Star Destroyers off of the planet?
No, they
maybe.
They
It
can-
seems like a lot of resources would take to do that.
Yeah, I think those are built in.
Well, no, I know
Put
they
in
can
out
be
space-
within
out
the
in
atmosphere
space.
of the planet. Like I remember, like in some of the parts of the Clone Wars that I watched, like Star Destroyers were like in the or like they were
Oh,
the
yeah, I
Republic ships.
remember that.
They were in like the atmosphere of the planets. So I feel like they can be on planets, but most of like their flying is done in space.
Probably. I mean, like, once they're in space, they stay in space.
Yeah.
Goddamn space pizza making us discuss shit.
Yeah.
All right, well, final opinions. Still, anybody change their mind? 'Cause
No.
Otherwise, it's still 7.5 out
Yeah.
of 10. All
Do we
right,
still have the pizza in the car?
I do. It's on my lap.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
I'll take it. This has been Draft House Drive. We'll see you guys later. Peace.